G'day ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Bitcoin update. Apologies for no webcam today, and apologies for my voice potentially sounding a little bit drained and flustered. I am feeling a little bit under the weather at the moment, but I'll be fine, and we'll just get straight into the analysis, because that's why we're making the video at the end of the day. Look, we've seen some pretty interesting stuff on Bitcoin. A daily candle close, namely below the center line of the Gaussian channel. The Gaussian channel is this green and red kind of channel you can see on the screen here. On the daily chart, it is pretty effective. It's specifically very effective on the weekly chart, but it also works on the daily chart as well. Generally speaking, with the Gaussian channel, when you enter the Gaussian channel from the upside, you move through it to the downside, and when you enter it from the downside, you move through it to the upside. It's pretty good at indicating kind of flows in the trend. And as of right now, you know, we've finally seen on Bitcoin a reversal in this trend here and a move through the Gaussian channel. So we should be continuing downwards through that Gaussian channel if the historical data is anything to say for it. Now, that doesn't always necessarily mean a deep correction. If you're looking at what we saw, you know, just a couple of months ago here in March 2023, we didn't see a particularly deep correction. We saw a little small correction down below the center line, but it certainly was a correction. You know, if we're going to copy March, we could be seeing something like 25.2k. If we're going to go a little bit deeper, we could actually be seeing Bitcoin find support on this yellow uptrending support line, which is newly identified. I haven't really looked at that in the past, but, you know, it is something that's worth noting because we've got an uptrending support line quite clearly here. And what you can see, you know, if we're looking, you know, at prior trends, we can go ahead and just flip it up for a second here. Let's take a look at structures that look similar to what we're doing right now. Okay, one of those structures is a bearish structure, and in that bearish structure, we have this consolidation in July 2021. That consolidation could match up realistically to this consolidation I've just circled. We had this rounding top over here, a second rounding top, and then downwards price action. Okay, we could be saying that this is the rounding top over here. We have the second rounding top over here, and then downwards price action. Now, we don't necessarily have to correct as much as we did here, obviously, because that was a bear market. But the point of the matter is, in that similar structure, we had an uptrending line, and that uptrending line did act as temporary support. As you can see, we dropped right through it. We came down and retested it from the downside, right? So it was a valid line. And if we're using that, you know, as a reference, given the fact that the kind of pattern is similar, we could say that this support zone, given by this uptrending yellow line here, could actually be a potential bounce zone for Bitcoin as well. So in you know, addition to 25.2k, which is our main support zone, that green box there between 25.2 and 26.7, and that obviously is constituted by the highs of this range we saw from June 2022 all the way to around March 2023. You know, in conjunction to that green support zone, in conjunction to what is within that green support zone, which is things like the 200-week SMA, which is things like the bull market support band, etc. We also have that lower kind of safety net there with that uptrending yellow line that we could actually come down and retest, potentially even on a wick. So we do have a lot of support here for Bitcoin. I certainly don't think that long-term structure for Bitcoin is to be concerned about at this point in time. I think that it's a little bit early to be concerned about something like that, given the fact we're only at 27k after moving up from 15k. I think we're fine in that regard, but I don't think that Bitcoin looks strong on the medium term or short term at all. To be honest with you, I think it looks kind of weak. And, you know, we're looking at the structure we've got right now on the screen. We've got a descending triangle structure. Now, that alone, as you can see in yellow, that alone is not a good thing. Descending triangles are not strong. They're not strong structures. They generally break to the downside. Look at the 4-hourly chart. You can see the same thing. Constant retest of this support zone. It's probably going to get weaker and weaker and weaker. You could say that's the M formation over here as well. I know I'm drawing a lot of lines on the screen, but I'm sure you can follow. It doesn't look particularly strong. Yes, we do have some support given by this RSI triangle we've recently bounced off, and so we could be seeing this hold for a decent period of time. We don't have to break down right now, but given the fact that at the same time Bitcoin was forming this triangle, we also saw similar triangles form on things like Ethereum and on things like total cryptocurrency market cap, and both of those things have broken to the downside. You know, that could be foreshadowing what's going to happen with Bitcoin in terms of a downside break in this triangle here. You know, we're also seeing some pretty bad stuff here on the DXY. DXY is reverse correlated to Bitcoin, and so when this thing goes up, Bitcoin goes down. This thing is just broken above a downtrending yellow line that's been forming since the 27th of March. Nothing particularly major, but that's over a month of resistance there. We've broken that to the upside. And so we can assume that we at least go upwards a little bit, something to like 103 here on the DXY, potentially even this downtrending yellow line here, 104, and that's not going to be good for Bitcoin either. Gold has rejected as well, quite strongly from its red resistance box. Now again, look, I think it's going to go up over a certain period of time. Give it a few months, I think it will go up above that red box and breach new highs given the macro environment and given how gold has functioned and proven itself to move upwards in that bad macro environment. But the fact of the matter is, in short term, it doesn't look particularly good. And you know, that's something we're seeing resembling across all of the charts here. So I suppose that's really all there is to say. I don't think Bitcoin looks strong in the short term. I think we probably will be seeing a breakdown of this descending triangle formation. I think that, however, you know, like anything, right? You know, we want to see it first. We don't want to jump to any conclusions. And, you know, I know it's kind of hard to say that when you're meant to be making predictions on a YouTube channel, but it is the reality, right? If we're looking for trades, like short positions and long positions, we can't be trading within a range. You can't be trading into a major support zone. Yes, I think it will break to the downside. That's my personal opinion. That's what's more likely, objectively speaking, based on charting patterns. It's barely my opinion. It's just what's more likely. But the fact of the matter is, at this point in time, that's still a major support zone. It's still holding. It's held on like 4 or 5 separate occasions. So why would you short into it now? I think you wait for it to break. And, you know, even this entire range we've got here, I don't think it's good for shorts. You know, look, it's one thing saying Bitcoin's probably going to go down on short to medium term, but it's another thing being ballsy enough to short into a major support zone, such as the one at 25.2k, supported by bull market support bands, supported by 200-week XMA, supported by massive, you know, 10 months previous resistance zone. It's just not a region you want to look for shorts in my personal opinion. I think that, if anything, you want to look for longs if they do occur. If we do break to the upside against the odds, that's when you look for longs. But shorts, I think, no. I think you just stay cautious here. I think you just stay away from the market. I think you sit on the sidelines. I don't think necessarily Bitcoin shorts are ideal. Potentially look for shorts on altcoins if Bitcoin breaks down. That would probably be the better bet, considering the fact that altcoins, right, generally do pretty well when Bitcoin starts correcting after a significant move to the upside that's been seeing. Bitcoin dominance hasn't moved down too much, but you can see it start to kind of round out here. And if Bitcoin goes down a little bit and goes down and breaks below that descending triangle, altcoins could start to perform well against Bitcoin. Now, that doesn't mean altcoins need to pop off. That doesn't mean they need to go up. But it certainly does mean that they will probably drop less. And that's generally what happens. So, look, you know, overall, I'm rambling a little bit. I'm kind of getting besides the point here. The point is, short term doesn't look particularly strong for Bitcoin. Long term isn't a problem at this point in time. We've got major support, and at this point in time, this basically, you know, can't be seen as anything other than a healthy correction, a healthy pause after a significant move to the upside. We are very overextended at this point on Bitcoin, and the charts are reflecting that. You know, look, and I'm not willing to say that, you know, we're going to be dropping massively. I don't necessarily think that has to be the case. And, you know, you can say it can be the case, but the fact of the matter is, look, you know, it's very difficult to understand what Bitcoin's going to do on a macro scale here, given the weird part of the cycle we are in. You know, we're in a point in the cycle, and I'll just zoom out and show you. You know, we have basically conventional bull markets on Bitcoin, which I'm circling, and then we have conventional bear markets on Bitcoin, which I'll circle as well, which we go downwards. So we go upwards and downwards. That's 2 years of a cycle. So 1 year bull market, 1 year bear market. The other 2 years of a cycle, we just kind of lurk, and we slowly edge upwards, but mostly we just kind of lurk. And that's where we're in. We're in that lurking phase. And there's no real guideline that the cyclical theory can really offer us, other than the fact that we probably shouldn't be going down to new lows during this period of time. So Bitcoin can kind of do whatever it wants now. And I don't think any particular drop really puts the cyclical theory at risk. I think the cyclical theory, the 4 year cycle theory, is, you know, one of those things you can only really prove invalid when it becomes invalid. You know, you can't really say, oh, it's going to be proven invalid because of this. It's just, you have to just kind of wait and see. And I don't think we're at risk of that at all, given how high we are. And, you know, look, if we're looking at the Bitcoin data objectively, you know, we can call out patterns like the pattern I called out before. We can say Bitcoin's in a bearish pattern because it's copying what it did over here in 2021. And you can also make a similar case that it's actually in a pretty decent pattern. It's copying what it did over here in 2018. We had a horizontal support zone in 2018, similar to 28.6k that we have now. We broke to the upside after brief consolidation, and that brief consolidation looked like exhaustion in a similar pattern to what we're doing now. However, even though it looked like exhaustion, we moved to the upside. Could we be doing the same thing? Who knows? That's what I'm saying. It's one of those things. The macro scale is kind of a big question mark, and it's a grey area. We don't have a clear guideline for it. We just have to rely on short-term analysis to push us through the winds, push us through the currents, and get us through the other end. And as of right now, unfortunately, the short-term doesn't look particularly strong, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But yeah, I don't think the macro risk is anything to be super concerned about at this point in time. Where do I think the low could be if we do drop below this triangle? And, you know, again, that's an if. I think 25.2k at the highest, and even potentially a wick downwards to this yellow uptrending line, which would be anywhere from, 23, 24k at the lowest, probably. So that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Check out the BitGet exchange, 5 times lower fees than Binance, non-KYC. You can sign up from anywhere in the world, clicking other as the country of origin when you use the registration page, and you can, again, use non-KYC anywhere in the world. Sign up using my referral link for a 15% trading fee discount for life. Go ahead and do that. Crypto Academy courses, if you want to learn how to trade, the Become a Trader 10-unit course might be for you. You can check out the website, read all about the course, and throw us an email. If you're interested, join over 100 students in learning about cryptocurrency, learning about trading, and how to trade with that course. Again, that's developed by myself and Mega Crypto. The website link will be in the description below if you're interested. And finally, guys, the VIP group. We've done some very, very good trades in this quarter. We've released 6 months of trading results, every single win, every single loss you can find. Our track record is there, so you don't have to trust my opinion on it when I say it's profitable. You can go ahead and my take on it when I say it's profitable. You can go ahead and check the data and verify for yourself. It's up to you whether you want to sign up. 100 USD for 3 months, but I thought to let you know. Check out the group details and all of our trading records in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.